On May 14th, 2022, the Creator Clash took over the world of YouTube by storm, pitting your favorite creators and mine against each other in the great American sport of boxing. In a subsection of the boxing industry that has come off, especially in recent years, as mostly petty ego fights, the Creator Clash and its sequel that dropped a couple weeks ago showed a valiant effort to portray boxing as, well, classy. Everything about this event comes off as respectful and sincere, with just about everyone treating each other with respect, and those who aren't are engaging in comically fake beef. It was clear that this was an event to showcase everyone, and not just the winners. And that is felt all the more in their individual WWE-style walkouts, where they would hype up the crowd to some kind of fun music. This was their way of giving every creator who decided to step into the ring a moment to shine. And in order to bring back some of that childish drama that the internet craves and the Creator Clash so desperately wants to avoid, I am ranking all of these walkouts on a tier list. Hey everyone, I'm RVRocks, and what makes a good walkout? Well, a good walkout for a boxing event like this is just walking out. Boxing, in a traditional sense, isn't really known for its theatrics like this, and as such, I would consider any extra pizzazz in these walkouts as a bonus, not necessarily the standard. And as such, I have created a tier list for the walkouts, with the bottom tier being C, meaning that the creator walked out to a song in a completely average way, with S tier over here being a complete masterclass in creating hype and a spectacle, and B and A tier functioning as better than C and worse than S, respectively. Remember that none of this reflects my personal feelings on the fighters, and I am doing my best to judge them independently of my feelings on their content, and that my feelings on these walkouts may not be the same as yours. I might not have the same information as you, I might miss things. With that being said, Matt Watson of SuperMega was the first walkout in the entire Creator Clash lexicon, and he set the bar relatively high. While Matt himself did not perform well in the ring, or really perform at all, his walkout with him having a blow-up doll with his opponent's face on it and then proceeding to stomp on it was a pretty exciting moment to start off the event with. And his walkout music was there. I'll be 1000% honest with you, researching for this video, I could not find out what his walkout music was when everyone else has had theirs documented, but even if I could, I don't think it'd change my opinion. Matt Watson earns himself our first A tier. Dadbot, or Nathan Barnatt, or Keith Apicary, or I guess man now, is a YouTube classic, starting his channel originally all the way back in 2006. I hope I am not going to show my bias by saying this as a large fan of Nathan myself, but his walkout fucking ruled. Dad is an enigma of energy, as shown in his later performances in the ring, and that is reflected perfectly in a performance that is both terrifying yet endearing. Terrifying because no one else before or after him would display this much energy in a walkout. Endearing because look at him! He is about to get in the boxing ring, a space where he will need as much gas in the tank as possible, and he's moving around like this before the fight. How can you not root for him? With a song choice of Obliterate, which is noteworthy as it's a song by Dad himself, his moves and general demeanor, this is going right above Matt at the top of A tier. Ryan Magee, the other half of SuperMega, walked out in a pretty standard way with no theatrics, but his walkout song was a genius choice, being a cover of "O Come All Ye Faithful" by his opponent in the ring. A small choice like this elevates an otherwise pretty typical walkout. B tier. Alex Ernst of The Alex Ernst Show came out to Ambitions as a Rider by Tupac, and to be honest, he is the template for the boring, stock walkout. Even though walking out by himself and not really interacting with the audience could be read as stylistic choices, it comes off to me as an easy and non-complicated C tier. Erik of Internet Comment Etiquette was another standard walkout, but his energy and song choice, that being Fightin' Soy Boy by Hot Dad, make him a cut above Alex Ernst, making him the new top of C tier. DJ Welch is a man of my people. my people being absolute nerds. And that is shown all too well with his walkout song choice of Tank, also known as the Cowboy Bebop song. And let me just say, there is something so wonderful about the audience's eruption when they hear that iconic opening.
Obviously an experienced fighter.
He doesn't do anything all that special in his walkout, but with the hype of the song, I will put him as the new top of C tier. I Did A Thing is known for his iconic apron and khaki shorts, and he walks out wearing these and busting a fucking move in a synchronized dance routine alongside his trainer. A dance routine all set to, I'll be honest, I don't think there's a chance in hell I will be able to read this properly, nor does my 3D text have a setting for these characters, so I'll just keep it on screen for as long as I am talking. Song's a banger either way. I Did A Thing knew how to hype up the crowd, and as such is the new gold standard and our first S tier. TheOdd1sOut was celebrating his birthday when he fought during the first Creator Clash, and as such, he rolled out with him and his crew donning cute little party hats. Other than this and his little plug walk, he had a fairly standard walkout to In Da Club by 50 Cent. But you know what? In honor of his birthday flair, I will put him above Ryan in B tier. Yodeling Haley, much like Ernst before her, did not really do anything all that special, standard stuff coming out to Everything in Its Right Place by Radiohead. C tier above Ernst. JustAMinx embraced her Irish persona and walked out to I'm Shipping Up to Boston by Dropkick Murphys, ranked number 5 on Country Living's 35 Best Irish Songs 2023. Minx walks the whole way, dancing, blowing kisses, really working the crowd, all with an energy that I would say is a step below Dad's. So I think that's where she belongs, in A tier. Brett Hundar Hunley of Muscle Party and Couch Hop fame came out in a non-bombastic way, but still had some fun elements. Walking out to Tu Mira by Lola Emanuel with his fancy little cape, I think Hundar achieves what Ernst wanted to do. This no-nonsense intimidation factor worked far better for him, even though it's still not all that exciting. I'm gonna put him at the bottom of B tier. AB Starkilla Iad, Twitch streamer and my personal favorite member of the H3 podcast that's not named Lena, Zach, Cam, or Love, walked out to Eminem's Lose Yourself. And while he doesn't do too much different during his walkout, I can't help but respect the choice. Like really, the Mom Spaghetti song is the one that hypes you up pre-fight? AB will be our new top of C tier. Stephan is a financial influencer, and as such, he walked out to the Shark Tank theme, which is fucking funny. In an otherwise standard walkout, I think the music choice is poignant enough to earn him a spot above Hundar in B tier. Michael Reeves, Robot Master, renowned shitposter, and possibly the most babyface person who has participated in either Creator Clash, walked out to the Minecraft parody of Take On Me, known as Mine Diamonds. And just like AB, I have to respect the giant meme. However, unlike AB, Mine Diamonds, while being iconic in its own right, let's not forget that, is not very good on the ears. Like at all. So in an ironic twist, despite being a relatively boring walkout, I think walking out to something that can be barely qualified as a song allows him a higher placement as the new top of C tier. Arin Ego Raptor Jones Hanson, the grump of Game Grumps, the video game boy who wins, brings another masterpiece of shitposting for his song choice. Grant McDonald's Ram Ranch. Much like AB and Michael Reeves before him, it's a standard walkout with a funny song. I personally find the song choice funnier than AB's, but not as funny as Michael's, so that is where he will go in C tier. Harley Morenstein of Epic Mealtime embraced his persona as the Sauce Boss and came out as a video game boss, the big boss, Naked Snake. Going for a more intimidating, in-character approach, Harley walked out to The Man Who Sold the World by Nirvana and achieved the menacing, angry walkout better than Hundar and Ernst before him. Harley is going between Dad and Minx in A tier. Dr. Mike came out to Labyrinth's Mount Everest, and look at this walk, you can probably guess where I'm putting him. He doesn't interact with the crowd, the song is just about how good he is, it comes off as a touch arrogant, and definitely nothing special. And as such, he will go at the very bottom of C tier. And for our final fighter of Creator Clash 1, iDubbbz Jama came out to get got by Death Grips and follows Dr. Mike's and Alex Ernst's lead of coming out serious to a serious song. It's standard, it's like getting food and water but without the atmosphere, and with a lack of drip and pizzazz like this, it's gonna come down to superficial reasoning where I place him in C tier. I guess I like his robe slightly more than I like Mike's and Alex's, so he'll go above them. If you couldn't tell, I love when there's a little bit of a show to go along with the walkout, which is great because amongst a series of other improvements in the fight night, Creator Clash 2 really upped the ante and allowed people to go as wild as they wanted. Creator Clash 2 is a huge improvement in terms of that fun theatric spectacle, and that's demonstrated perfectly by Jack Manifold came out with as much English pride as he can muster. And to be completely honest, I was not sold until I saw that he was also carrying a little cane. The small things just really work for me. Walking out to Rule Britannica as a dapper little man, Jack Manifold gets placed as the well-earned new top of B tier. Dakota Olave walked out to Limelight by Nathan Polan, and he did not do anything all that special. But he looked so happy to be there. Look at all that enthusiasm. He's going right under Haley in C tier. Jaelaray is a Twitch streamer most known for her League of Legends content, and as such, she walked out to Rise. Which, if I can just have an aside, I don't know shit about League of Legends, but goddamn, is their music always good. During her walkout, she also had several of her entourage hold shields with her opponent's face taped to it, which she lovingly punched straight through. This is the perfect combination of fan service for her audience, smack talk, and hype for the forthcoming event. Easily our new top of S tier. Abelina Sabrina did not fail to rival her opponent's wonderful walkout, with a live mariachi band performing El Toro Relajo. She had a remarkably charming exit as well, with her struggling to hold a bunch of flowers with boxing gloves on, then jumping out and immediately throwing every single one of them, then proceeding to walk out with as much enthusiasm and energy as she would later show in the ring. This one for me is another easy S tier. Below J's, but not by that much. For Dad's Creator Clash 2 walkout, he was left with a bit of a conundrum. If you leave it all on the floor the first time around, what do you do for the second time? Well, apparently the answer is you run full speed to Echoes of Mine by M83, do a flip into the ring, nearly dislocate your arm in a very comical fashion, and shock everyone. This one really speaks to me. The way he times his run with the music. The way the camera zooms out to try and match his speed, but he runs right out of its view, so they have to cut to the jib shot. The way you can pause on any given frame and you will see the crowd in the background with their heads turned the opposite direction because he ran by that quickly. It's elevated. It's perfection. It's Dad. S tier below I Did A Thing. Now, AB in opposition to Dad, it's just not fair. You can't fairly oppose this guy, be it in the ring or walking out. AB's walkout was set to Tupac's Untouchable Swizz Beat remix, with the way he hyped up his walkout song on the podcast beforehand, implying that there is some Starkilla lore as to why the song is significant to him. But if there is, I don't know it. Funny song aside, AB does standard walkout procedure, joined by Lena and Morgpie. And since there's not much else going on with this walkout, let me just say, it never fails to make me laugh that they have the long-ass marquee title for AB. Like, I know that his work on H3 is his claim to fame, but it feels a bit mean to label him as AB from H3 Podcast like it's his last name. AB C tier, above Dakota. New to the ring this year, in fact, he only trained for this event for 3 weeks, William Haynes of... Well, I was gonna say source-fed fame, but the kids don't know what that is, do they? William walked out to the Star Trek Voyager theme with the fucking Avengers, and aside from embracing William and his classical nerd self, this is just hilarious. There's something about the stern face of William, the shitty Avengers with the one shockingly fantastic Iron Man, and walking out to a song that's not even related to those costumes that really tickles my brain. I think this deserves a solid A tier. Mid-A tier, below Harley. Chris Ray Gun, old school YouTuber, Puerto Rican demon, and unfortunately mismatched boxer, embraced his heritage and walked out to Suavemente by Elvis Crespo. Aside from a little moving to the music and his entourage carrying a Puerto Rican flag, this is more of the same. It's essentially a worse Jack Manifold, so it will go there in B tier. Mika Midget, also known as Rip Mika, walked out to Brothers in Arms by Junkie XL and did not really do anything all that special. C tier, which is starting to look a little crowded in the unexciting section, so between Dakota and iDubbbz, I guess. Alanah Pearce, formerly of IGN, Funhouse, Inside Gaming, and currently of Sony Santa Monica, brought the heat. She dressed up as Kratos with what is essentially screen-accurate Atreus and Freya cosplays, lovingly portrayed by Opalink and Jessica Nigri, all set to a God of War trap remix. Since she worked on the game, I can't quantify how cool this is. I think this deserves to be our new top of A tier. Myth is well known in the creator boxing space for being a demon, and he proved that again this year with probably the most boxer walkout of anyone yet. He's out here smacking his gloves together, doing the little Goku hops, all set to shepherd a fire by Avenged Sevenfold. It's subtle and basic, but I respect it here a little more than anywhere else. Couldn't tell you why. He's going between AB's second walkout and Haley in C tier. For Hundar's second walk, he really played up the bestial angle and came out in a bear pelt to Raining Blood by Slayer. It's fun, but not much more than what he did last time, but still more, so he goes above his own first walk in B tier. Haley Sharp's Creator Clash 2 walkout is just as basic as last year's, except this time she walked out to Roman's Revenge by Nicki Minaj. Roman's Revenge repeatedly reuses the line, like a dungeon dragon. It's a fun little reference considering her opponent in recent years has become remarkably famous for her place in a D&D show. Much like Ryan, I think this particularly poignant music choice earns her a B tier above Graham Stephan. Marisha Ray, most notably known as a creator for her participation in Critical Role, walked out to a custom song written by Sam Riegel, also of Critical Role, which serves as simultaneously a diss track for Haley and a hype-up song for Marisha. This song containing an absolute truckload of references to her characters in Critical Role. Alongside this, she is walked out by the entire Critical Role cast wearing matching robes and shirts with her character's catchphrase on it, dancing alongside Marisha with the music, and then she has a cute little canned bit with this sword. And then, and only then, does she finally enter the ring. This is a lot, and I do not think it will be controversial to put her as the new top of S tier. Arin's second walkout was a large step over his first one, coming out to yet another custom song joined by Tupperware Remix Party. He then proceeds to Sentai pose with them, adorned in a fun little Sailor Moon-esque outfit. The walkout from this point on may be basic, but the music choice and starting poses definitely were not. With all this in consideration, I think Arin earns himself a nice little spot at the bottom of S tier. William Haynes walked out with the Avengers. Jarvis Johnson walked out with the Commentary Avengers. Drew Gooden, Eddie Burback, Ted Nivison, I think a couple more, but it's hard to tell because Jarvis Johnson brought the most people out with him and all of them join him for an otherwise basic walkout set to vent by Baby Keem. I love when creators are buddies and embrace each other like this. It's a solid A tier, right above Dad. Andrea Botez of chess fame accomplished the best of both worlds, having a fun bit with all these security guards and a good song by using a certified meme classic, Crazy Frog. It may be simple, but it's really effective. She's going right under Jarvis Johnson in A tier. Michelle Khare, most notably known for her trying of everything, was not gonna go down without a fight though. She brought out a group of cheerleaders who did a synchronized dance for her, and then revealed that Gotham Chess, another prominent chess influencer and rival of Andrea, came to hype her up. All set to the dulcet tones of Doja Cat's Boss Bitch. Michelle performed as good in the walkout as she did in the ring, earning her an S tier above Sabrina. Leon Hart spoke to all of the nerds of the internet by getting the guy who sang the first Pokemon opening to sing it live for the audience as he walked out. As a Pokemon guy, seeing Leon walk out to the classic song while wearing a robe and shorts adorned in the Pokemon type energy symbols with Jason Page singing his heart out while throwing Pokemon cards into the crowd was mesmerizing. The actual walking out part is a bit basic, but that does not stop this one from being an easy S tier, under Sabrina. Ethan of Crank Gameplays also came out with a pretty electric showing, walking out to Top Gun by Baby No Money, with Baby No Money, and his two dads, Markiplier and Jacksepticeye. However, this electric showing is not very effective against the grounded performance of Jason Page with Leon Hart before him. Ethan goes in A tier, below Andrea. John Randall Hennigan, or as he's more well known as in the wrestling world, John Morrison, walked out to a diss track he made on his opponent, accompanied by and announced in by Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I'm not very up to date on the WWE side of things, but he embraced his wrestling heritage. Look at that outfit. Look at how he works the crowd. The mayor of Slantown earns himself a spot at the bottom of S tier. Harley faced a similar problem as Dad for Creator Clash 2. What do you do when you blew everyone away on your first try? And also, like Dad, he got weird with it. Starting off with a bit about how he's not coming out from where he's supposed to, and they can't find him, and boom! He's sitting in the crowd, serious as ever. From that spot in the audience, he does his walkout, all set to The Man Who Sold the World, the song he walked out to last year, except this version by Midge Ure, aka the version from the prologue of The Phantom Pain. This is the exact kind of theatrics that I want from this event. S tier above Dad. Alex Wasabi embraced all of us 2000s kids with his walkout, set to Jesse McCartney's Beautiful Soul. This is hilarious. Maybe not as directly a meme as something like Mine Diamonds, but a great choice and captures a great mood. It was a standard walkout otherwise, but a funny song and a cool robe make him good enough to be towards the top of C tier, between Arin and AB. iDubbbz earns the award for the most improved since last year, walking out in a Tingle-themed boxing robe to Uptown Puffs, also known as the backing track of Bruno Mars's Uptown Funk with the Reese's Puff commercial vocals. And I totally love this. While I do have a couple questions about iDubbbz's mentality of trying to distance himself from his old content and then immediately turning around and walking out in what is essentially a love letter to that old content, this is fun. It's a callback, an Easter egg, an embracing of everything that made classic iDubbbz. And after seeing how much Ian has grown in recent years, I can't not love it. It's calling back to what I loved as a child, and in a weird way, showing how much he actually has grown in that time. iDubbbz's second walkout earns himself an S tier right above John. A pretty fitting place to end it, if you ask me. The past couple years, the Creator Clash has never failed to be a fun time for someone like me who grew up on YouTube. It's like the closest I get to seeing a YouTube Smash Bros. Seeing the new roster, seeing all the callbacks and references included in their walkouts and outfits, and of course, seeing the creators punch each other. It's an exciting time for the internet to circle their wagons and all rally behind some of our most formative creators. Also, in the world of YouTube boxing, it's nice to see a respectful, well-meaning event where after every match you can clearly see the love the competitors share for one another. Ian, Anissa, congratulations on another fantastic event, and I cannot wait to see what the future holds for both you guys and the Creator Clash as a whole. Also, I can fight. I have like 30,000 followers max across all platforms, but like, how many heavyweights are there actually in the YouTube world? I'd get decimated by Harley for charity. Maybe one day. And if you want to see me fight some other YouTuber, then why don't you subscribe to RV Rocks and ring the bell, like this video, and comment your thoughts on the Creator Clash. Do you have any dream matchups, any ideas for the show, any complaints? Let me know either in the comments below or on any of my other social media to be found at RV Rocks Official. But before you do any of that, I have been RV Rocks, and thank you so much for watching. See ya!